Cancel all your plans, fight fans. UFC Fight Night 220 is the next cut of quality prime, served up by the grandest mixed martial arts enterprise on this side of the globe, and I am giddy with excitement about this one. To be honest, I didn't know who half the people on this card were going into this, and I've watched everything MMA for the better part of 7 years. Now, this doesn't really mean anything. Sometimes there are diamonds deep down in the regionals. This isn't a great lineup. So no messing about on this one. I do consider this a better card on paper than last week, at least. Not that that says much. Like and subscribe. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better win ratio this year. Money's getting made around these parts. Alright, first matchup. I'm taking Joe Solecki on this one. Now, Carl Deaton is coming off the Michigan regional scene and is taking this one on a week's notice, which is pretty much why I'm taking this pick. Solecki was scheduled to fight Benoit Saint Denis, so I assume he was preparing for a war. It's MMA, so anything can happen, but Solecki's well-rounded, he's a powerful guy, he's coming off a full fight camp. I expect him to dust this man who's jumping off the couch in pretty dominant fashion. He's just fought better guys, including a nice win against Jim Miller, a seasoned vet. I'm taking Solecki by finish. Alright, this next one is at featherweight. We've got Jose Johnson, who makes it to the UFC after 2 bouts on the Contender Series. He lost his first to Ronnie Lawrence, who is fine. But he did beat Cartwright, who's a prospect out of England. I really think he shit the bed on that one. He looked like a decent prospect. Not so much now. Now, Garrett Armfield is coming off a loss to Anama, which at the time didn't look too bad, but has since aged really badly. Anama lost pretty convincingly to Nate the Train. These guys are both really average in my opinion, and this one's a bit of a coin toss. Johnson is more experienced, but hasn't faced the same level of competition. And in a situation like that, I have to side with the guy that's faced sterner tests. For that reason, I'm reluctantly going to take Armfield. I think it's a scrappy, crappy fight that goes all 3 rounds. Goes to a split decision. I'm going to say Armfield squeaks it by the skin of his ass. Now, both these women are actually not entirely terrible. Both have a nice array of wins on their record, including both TKOs and submissions. It's a pretty even matchup on paper, but I'm going to take Perez, the underdog, on this one, and I really have gone back and forth on this. Both women have really similar stats and credentials, and to be honest, the majority are picking Cowan on this one. I'm taking Perez because she's with MMA Masters, and I just think it's a way better gym than Blitz Sport, and I think most people are overlooking that. Perez is also the naturally bigger girl, and I think she poses more of a takedown threat should she be losing the fight standing. I'd keep my wallet closed on this one. It is women's MMA, but yeah, gun to my head, I'll take the girl with the better gym partners. Okay, fight 4. This one's a great matchup. Alvez, really well-rounded. Now, despite having 2 losses in his only 3 UFC fights to date, they were all against really good competition. Like, this guy was not given any bums to start off his UFC career. He went straight in there with decent guys. He's really tough. He'll be very hard to get out of there. Now, despite the chin beard on Aliev, this guy's more of a striker than a wrestler and has proven to be really skilled when the fight is standing. Most people are picking Aliev, and I'm going to have to reluctantly follow the masses on this one. This is dangerous, but the fact that they are pairing Aliev against such a dangerous man in his debut demonstrates the confidence that the UFC and his management must have in him. I think this goes to a decision. I'm going to say 2 rounds to 1 in a very close fight. I don't think this will be a landslide like 80% of people on Tapology seem to be predicting. Aliev by decision. Right, I'm picking Charles Johnson. I did think he lost to Zhalgas Zhamagulev in a decision that was so contentious. The man threw his toys out the pram and promptly retired. Loss or not in that one, it was competitive in there, and Zamagulov is a really good contender. Johnson's also riding a wave. He's winning lately, and that can be really, really infectious. Ode Osbourne got sent to hell in his last fight with Tyson Nam. He has taken some time off, which is really smart after such a bad and brutal loss. But I just don't trust this man. His chin is dusty, and Johnson is riding a wave of confidence. I reckon Johnson cracks him, probably in the second, and Ode gets sent packing out of the promotion. I'm going to call Johnson by KO. Okay, I can't believe I'm going to pick a man that has recently lost to both Paddy Pimblett and Perez, but this is what these cards are making me resort to. Leavitt is a very strange little man. His striking is terrible, and his cage style is goofy and unorthodox. Martinez is a striker that piles on a lot of volume, but it's the competition issue again, and I really don't like this style matchup here for him. He is so poor in the clinch and on the ground, and this is where Leavitt does his best work. I mean, look at him. Of course it is. I think Leavitt stays patient at first, waits for his chance, drags him down like the predatorial little creep he is, and violates Martinez on the ground. This will be kind of reminiscent of those clips of bears mating. It won't be pretty. There'll be an aura of homoeroticism about the whole thing. And I think Leavitt will win this in a manner that makes us all feel a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, this one closes out the prelims. I couldn't find a UFC profile picture of Gabriela Fernandez because it doesn't exist. So I've decided that when that happens, from now on, I'm just going to replace them with a picture of Roxanne Modafferi, the female GOAT. I'm going to take Fernandez on this one. Jasudivarius lost to Elise Reed. She lost to Elise Reed. I don't think I really need to say anything else. This fight is going to stink, and I just think Fernandez is going to stink slightly less. I'm calling this one to go the distance. It's a meaningless fight. It's just there to pad the card. Yeah, I'll take Gabriela Fernandez by unanimous decision. Probably 2 rounds to 1. Alright, so let's have a quick look at the plays for this portion of the cards. I like Joe Solecki on the money line. I think Johnson and Armfield are going to go to decision. I did pick Armfield, but I don't feel confident in it. I'm more confident that these two will just scrap it out to the distance. Jordan Leavitt by money line. You can get decent odds on that. Gabriela Fernandez, any way you want to call it. What's Aileen Perez? Now, she's the heavy underdog. Most people are picking against her. Again, I think better gym. I like her winning this one, and you can get her at very good odds. Rafael Alvez by decision. Now, I did pick against him in my official pick, but he's good. And yeah, his opponent is very young in the game. I don't know. That could be a decent long shot to look at. And yep, Charles Johnson by TKO. He is slightly favored. If you pick him by TKO, which is his most likely avenue for success in this one, you could boost the odds. Charles Johnson by TKO. Okay, I'm going to be back tomorrow with a review of the main card. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit.